Hello again, everybody. Dr. Imholt here, Chief Wizarding Officer over at One for All Social. And if you're curious what a Chief Wizarding Officer is, it's like a Chief Technology Officer with a cooler title. We've been demystifying some of the algorithms at the different social media platforms over the last couple of videos. We're going to keep doing that. Today is YouTube. YouTube has the most, I think, in personal opinion, one of the more straightforward algorithms to understand. It looks for very specific things, and we're going to shed some light on that. So with that, we're just going to dive right in. Let's take a look. YouTube. Concept here is how do you get seen and how do you keep being seen with each new video drop? That's pretty important stuff if you're a creator. So there are some ways in which the algorithm can be controlled by the video producer, and there's some ways that the user controls it. So that me as a viewer, I know I get different things that pop up on my video feed versus my daughter. My daughter, who's 11, a lot of Taylor Swift stuff, which is a fantastic thing for her. Not really what I want to see. So mine has a whole bunch of different things that tend to pop up based on my viewing history. So the viewer does really control that algorithm, and how this is going to show you kind of how to use that. So what is the algorithm controlled by from the user perspective? What does that user watch? What does that user get shown on their feed, but they go past? That's important because if you don't have an eye-catching thumbnail or a good title, but a great video that might be of interest to that audience, you're still not going to get picked. So we've got another video that kind of gives thumbnail suggestions. You should go look at that. But if you get on that screen, an important thing is to be clicked, right? So your videos continue to show up on those screens. But from a user perspective, if it doesn't pick if they don't pick a certain video, they're not going to get shown videos like that much longer. Search terms. What does somebody look for in the search bar? What are they looking for? What are they searching? Likes, dislikes. If they click on the little three buttons next to a video and say not interested, it doesn't really like or dislike it, but it says, hey, I'm not interested in this topic. And guess what? Your video is not going to show up for them anymore. That's a bad thing. You definitely want to show up on the right screens, and you want to not get that not interested feedback because it counts against your video greatly. Dislikes don't really count as badly as not interested. Likes are important. So of course, comments matter. But the interesting thing is this kind of knowing this information as a creator, one thing you can use this for that can be very useful is there's a lot of channels on YouTube, and there's millions upon millions upon millions of videos. If you've got an idea for a video, one thing you can use this for is to go off and look at other people who might have done something similar and say, okay, great, they did that. How can I, number one, do something better? But how can I learn from what they did to perhaps be seen? Maybe they've got a specific type of thumbnail that their channel tends to prefer. Maybe they've titled it a specific way. Maybe you can learn from that information and use that to get yours up to that, tens of thousands of views that we all want to see. Or if you want to try to compete with Mr. Beast, those tens of millions of views, but he's a beast to himself. So I don't think anybody's ever going to take him down as being number one. So what does the algorithm concern itself with? And this is, again, some things that from the creator standpoint, you can certainly control. Watch time. It really cares about watch time. Just because somebody clicks on your video doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay watching it. So YouTube pays very careful attention to that first 30 seconds. And if you don't get people past that first 30 seconds, it really matters. It counts against your video in the future. So that really, really, really matters. Those first 30 seconds are vital. It really looks at that in ways that I cannot stress enough. And on top of that, what percentage of the video is shown? So if you've got a 2-hour video, which in YouTube time is a lifetime, do people watch half of it, 3/4 of it, 2% of it? How far do they really get? The sweet spot on videos seems to be sort of 10 to 15 minutes if you're doing long shorts, or of course less than a minute. But what is the length the video needs to be? Well, exactly whatever length it should be, right? So I've seen videos that drag on forever, and they keep promising, oh, keep watching. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Keep watching. And they never really get to the point, and you wind up like watching this 20-minute video for something that could have been 3 minutes and could have been a very good 3-minute video, but instead they drug it out for 20 minutes or a half hour, and it kind of sucked. So, do you want your video to be longer, or do you want it to be viewed by more people? I think we all would just desire that viewed by more people is better, rather than just sort of accumulated watch time across 5 or 6 people that happen to see it. So, how long should a video be to be perfect? Exactly the length it needs to be. So those feedbacks and direct user feedback and feedback surveys that YouTube sends out make a big deal, make a big difference. And this really drives home that I think uh, what you're going to find is producing good content will impact timeline placement more than producing quantity content. So would you rather have three videos that weren't done very well that maybe people watched 45 seconds of, or one video that was done really well where people watched 4 minutes of it and it was a 5 minute video? The algorithm's going to like you a lot better if you produce fewer videos that people get a lot further into. That's the part that really matters. And like the systems like One for All and even the insights or the analytics inside YouTube will help you see where people are stopping. And if you see, hey, look, everybody gets to like 2 minutes and they drop out. Well, what happened at that 2 minute mark that will go back and look at your video and see what happened to that 2 minute mark, and maybe you can answer your own question on why people stopped watching right there. Important to go look at that analytic stuff. It really does make a huge difference. So this is something that I think is really the heart of the matter, and this is where systems like One for All can really help. Your view count matters, right? You really want to set a trend. You don't really want to be a follower of a trend. You want to set a trend. And not only how, what does a certain video get 100 views, 10,000 views, 5,000 views, whatever. View count matters. How quickly the video is generating views really matters. And that's where things like, did I post it yesterday? Did I post it 3 weeks ago? Some things have a lifespan that go a long time. Some things are very short-lived over a certain number of days. It just sort of depends on the topic. But certainly age of video does have an impact. But I think the other thing that really matters is, can it be found, and can it be found commonly? Can it be found often? And that's where hashtags really matter. The right keywords really, really, really matter. So when people go up to that search bar and they start looking for things, do you have the right terms in your description that actually will get to the ones that are the most seen search terms? I don't necessarily I'm not personally an expert on what search terms somebody else might use, but we have a tool inside our system that is. We have our own proprietary AI that really kind of looks at how people are searching for different topics and helps you find exactly the right search terms to put inside your description. And then it helps your video get seen. And the key here is that YouTube videos are now indexed over on Google, the same company, right? So you're not just depending on people finding you on the search bar inside YouTube, but now Google as well. So those search terms are really going to matter inside those two systems. So I cannot stress enough that content is king. Content really matters, but search terms are what's going to get you to percolate to the top. But no amount of work on search terms is going to make a difference if your videos are notoriously ones that don't get watched beyond the 30-second mark. So once you get beyond that 30 seconds, you really got a shot at having your videos kind of become much bigger. But those search terms were going to get people to see it in the first place. So you got to get people to see it. You got to get people to like the thumbnail. There's another video on that. You got to get those search terms right, which is what we can do for you. Put all that together, and you can have a successful YouTube channel. I hope everybody has a great day. And I think next up, we're going to be doing probably LinkedIn. But, we will go through the 7 major platforms one at a time to demystify all the algorithms. And as those algorithms change, we will do another video to show you that as well. Everybody have a great day, and click subscribe, like, follow. Find us, comment below. And, we always love direct user feedback. Everybody have a great day.